So, guys, I live on the central coast of California. I'm in Santa Maria, California. If you don't know much about this area, it was some of it was depicted in the movie Sideways with Paul Giamatti and the other guy, and their wine tasting and all kinds of debauchery and weirdness. And the movie's about a lot. It's a fun movie if you haven't seen it. But some of it was filmed right here in Santa Maria Valley. There was one scene at Orcutt Burger. That's at the very, well, I won't spoil it, but it's a scene in the movie where he's in a diner looking burger place eating a burger, and that's Orcutt Burger. And, so Orcutt is an unincorporated area in the south area of Santa Maria, but the Central Coast in general is known for a lot of things. Santa Maria's tri-tip, of course, our barbecue, but also wine country, right? We have this wine country. It really began in the 80s, but then there was this big surge, this second wave in the aughts and in the early aughts. And then once Sideways came out, it was just like it became this destination area for wine tasting. And so it's a typical thing where just people with money will go and buy one that already exists, or start up a winery or a tasting room, or a distillery or a microbrew or a brewery, right? We also have Firestone Walker Brewery around here, which is pretty well known. All types of stuff like that. Jay Coleman says he's drinking. I'm not drinking Merlot. That's a line from Sideways, so. What we had happen here recently is in Orcutt, there is a wine and beer bar called Vino Et Amicis. Vino Et Amicis, which is wine and friends in Italiano, right? Very cultured. And the owner of Vino Et Amicis is a retired San Luis Obispo police officer. San Luis Obispo is a city a bit north of here, has Cal Poly SLO. I actually am wearing a shirt because I just got accepted into Cal Poly. Check it out. I'm such a lib. I'm even studying the liberal arts. But anyway, so this guy, his name's Kurt Hixenbaugh. He is a retired San Luis Obispo city police officer. And he is the first person in Santa Barbara County, which is just to the, we're in North County, which is to the south of San Luis Obispo County. And boom, he is the first Santa Barbara County business owner to be charged with COVID shutdown defiance. So Kurt Hixenbaugh openly ignored winter lockdown and now faces 4 misdemeanor counts. Here he is toasting with a beer. He's very proud of himself. We're going to watch the videos in a second. They are too much. But let's just read a little bit. This is the Santa Barbara Independent that I'm looking at. This is the independent paper, the weekly in Santa Barbara. So, I always say, whenever you're in a town or a city, see if they have a independent weekly paper. Not all of them are locally owned anymore, but, they generally tend to be independent. But anyway, a former police sergeant turned wine bar owner is the first person in Santa Barbara County to be criminally charged with violating COVID-19 health orders. So the guy literally posted that what he was doing to YouTube. That's where that picture comes from. Kurt Hixenbaugh, 49, faces 4 misdemeanor counts of refusing to close Vino Et Amicis, located in Old Town Orcutt, during the statewide shutdown that was in effect this winter. Each charge carries a maximum penalty of 6 months in jail and or a $1,000 fine. The district attorney's office filed the complaint after an investigation by the state's Department of Alcohol and Beverage Control, which could also revoke the location's alcohol license. So the guy could lose his license. It's kind of a big deal. If you get an alcohol license, man, you hold on to that. People really, really, you can sell one of those for quite a lot of money. While Santa Barbara authorities had previously filed a handful of civil cases against businesses, mainly gyms, that had refused to close early in the pandemic, Hixenbaugh and Vino Et Amicis are the first in the county to be criminally prosecuted. So Kurt here, he's kind of breaking the first rule of scofflawing, right? Scofflawery is you don't openly, incriminate yourself online. But unfortunately, that's exactly what Hixenbaugh did. Fortunately for him, that is, legally. So here's his first video, just titled, "We Are Staying Open." and this is from December of last year. Keep in mind, the COVID numbers surged through the winter. It started with Thanksgiving, and then after Christmas. I mean, here in Santa Maria Valley, where his business is located, there were several families that, they lost a few generations of family members, like not the whole generation, but like, they lost a grandparent, a parent, and maybe even a kid. There were some families that lost a bunch of people all at once. But so let's hear from Kurt really quick.
Hey everybody, Kurt from Vino Et Amicis. Just wanted to do a quick video, so answer any questions about what we're going to be doing from this point forward. We've been put under another shutdown effective, I guess, by the end of today. Today's Sunday. We're going to defy that order. We don't agree with it, and we think it's time that people start standing up.
Don't agree. So I don't know if we missed that part. I mean, do you guys has a cop ever pulled you over? This guy's a retired police officer. Has a police officer ever pulled you over and said, "Hey, you were speeding," and you said, "Well, I don't agree. I don't agree with you pulling me over." But anyway.
And taking a stand on this. And so we're going to do that. And I hope others will follow. If not, that's okay. But I'm going to go into why we're doing that. But first of all, I want to say that we know that COVID-19 is real. There's no question about it. We know that it's dangerous for certain people.
For certain people. Okay, Kurt.
And we know that it's very contagious. When I say we're going to defy the order, that doesn't mean we're just going to pack the place shoulder to shoulder and have a good old time and not be careful. We're absolutely going to be careful. We're absolutely going to limit our capacity. We're going to limit our capacity to 25% like we did in the previous partial opening. And I'll explain why we're doing that as well. We're still going to be wearing masks. We're still going to be social distancing. We will respect all of those guidelines.
Cool. All right, cool.
So my main problem with the governor's most recent order is that instead of going county by county, they're lumping counties into regions. San Luis Obispo and Santa Barbara County are being lumped into Southern California region for whatever reason. I don't know. But that just doesn't make sense. The data doesn't support it. The numbers don't support it. It's ridiculous. When you look...
So this argument was really popular around the time when Governor Gavin Newsom cut the state into regions. And, it is interesting because the Central Coast, Santa Barbara and San Luis Obispo County, the one north of us, they were both included with Southern California. Now, there were a lot of COVID deniers, or this guy's, of course, no, I'm not denying COVID. It's harmful to certain people. I wonder what he means by that. And but this argument was made: why are we included with L.A. and San Diego and all that? And well, I think there are a few reasons where it makes a lot of sense. First of all, the 101 corridor from L.A. area and Ventura to up here, Santa Barbara and San Luis Obispo counties. I mean, I can get to L.A. in less than 3 hours. And as I was just saying, this area and his industry specifically are tourism destinations for specifically, we have tons of people who come up from LA, and our area is a little vacation area for them, right? Get away from the big city, come to wine country, come to these little quaint towns like Orcutt and Santa Maria, and get completely faded on hopping from winery to winery and drinking like just dozens of different types of wines. But anyway, I'm not saying that's what he profits off of, but it's debauchery or whatever. But we have literally, it's a tourist destination. So if you have Southern Californians coming here during one of the worst peaks of COVID, it makes sense it would be included in that. The other thing was, he goes on to complain about the hospital numbers and stuff like that. Our hospitals were taking in people from Southern California if they weren't able to handle, if hospitals were at capacity down there. But not long after this, into December and especially January, our hospitals were through the roof. But let's hear a little more.
Look at ICU capacity. They say if you drop below 15% available rates, then that's what's triggered this lockdown. Well, in Santa Barbara County, for example, we are, I believe, at 38% availability. Our hospitals are at half capacity. Available ventilators are that's not a problem. We don't have those problems in Santa Barbara County, nor does San Luis County have the problems that LA County, San Diego County, Orange County, San Bernardino, Riverside, all of those other counties, El Centro County. We're not having those issues, and for us to be lumped into that group and have us shut down and have us suffer those consequences is unrealistic, and we're just not going to comply. We're just not going to do it.
We're just not going to comply. We're just not going to do it. And so this mentality, we saw it a lot at this time, saying why should, especially here on the Central Coast, where people thought they were somehow immune from this. That, well, we're not Southern California. We're not the Bay Area. As if these areas aren't all connected by roads, as if people weren't obviously flaunting stay-at-home orders and, continuing, what's the word I'm looking for, tourism and other things like that. And just a couple months later, here's a story from my website, politicalpain.com, that I did myself. You guys can visit politicalpain.com, P-A-Y-N-E. I do original reporting there. Not all the time, but sometimes. And this story was really harrowing from January. Santa Maria mortuaries fill as coronavirus infections spike on the Central Coast. So this was in January as the outcome of people not taking it seriously over the winter and seeing each other on holidays, continuing to go out to bars and wherever else they could, and just crowd into enclosed spaces with their families, led to the point where some of the mortuaries in town were basically at capacity and they were having trouble keeping up. And hospitalizations, deaths, these are all lagging indicators of infection. Infection happens, and then people, we have the outcome of that. And so this guy in the beginning of December is saying, oh, this is unfair to us. Well, the outcome was more dead people in our community, right? And basically that was what we saw, right, is a big spike in December. And like I said, it really messed up. There were whole families in Santa Maria that lost several people, right? Have some comments here. Want to include these. Jay Coleman says over 500,000 deaths is just certain people. Jay Coleman, let's see. Chandra World says they are dead. He is not owned, right? Jay Coleman, it doesn't matter. The deaths are just certain people. Darkhood 88. Oh, it's the wine bar guy that I'll no longer go to. Oof. John Ross, such irresponsibility. Darkhood 88. Right. They all of a sudden didn't want to be SoCal. LOL. Yeah. It helps their brand when we're part of Southern California. We're the 805 or whatever that thing is. It's a bummer. But so the guy didn't. Hold on, let's look at the story, a little more of the story really quick. So the story kind of goes in this. In December, Hixenbaugh made no secret. We don't agree with it. We think it's time people start taking a stand, and I hope others will follow. That wasn't enough for him. He also he renamed a beer.
Hey everybody, it's Kurt.
So this is really kind of just like a character study. Like, he had a beer called F COVID, and he renamed it Defiance. And literally, the name is just Defiance. This is in February, guys. This is in February. So he's seen the spike of deaths in the community. Still stayed open. Now it's February of 2021, and and keep in mind, look, he's got like the kind of this American flag, the black and wood American flag has been kind of used. He's also got the same type of flag on his head. It's been used for like the Blue Lives Matter movement. That's understandable. He's a retired police officer. There's nothing wrong with that. Decorating the way you want. But now he has renamed his beer F COVID to Defiance. So let's hear this.
Kurt from Vino Et Amicis. Just a quick update. We're still here. We're still open for business, open for indoor service and patio service as well. We've decided that our beer that we have called F COVID.
This was the thing. He had patio service. He made a patio, right? like a lot of beer wine restaurants did. So even in December, he had a patio, and throughout this whole time, but he still insisted on having indoor drinking.
COVID, we're going to change the name. It's called Defiance. That's what we're doing, and that's for service and patio service as well. We've decided that our beer that we have called F-COVID, we're going to change the name. It's called Defiance. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to encourage all of my fellow business owners to do out there.
Yeah.
There's freedom in defiance. Now, I'm not suggesting that we go out and break all the laws and just let everybody in and have a wild, good old time.
Oh, okay.
Be smart. Be safe. Follow all of the laws we've followed before in the past.
What? Only the laws of the past make sense now. Okay. Also, defiance is freedom. Freedom is defiance. I mean, guys, like, there's a murder trial going on for George Floyd, who was, he was not, I don't really think he was resisting arrest, but that's the argument the defense is making for Derek Chauvin, was that he was defiant, right? That's why anyway, let's hear the rest.
But the boot that's on our throat from Sacramento is killing our businesses, and we need...
Oh, he's got a boot on his throat. Okay, this is less than a year after the death of George Floyd. Okay, but it's Gavin Newsom again. He's the real enemy, right?
To stand up to that. We need to unite and stand up against that. So just a little bit of encouragement for my fellow business owners. And come on down, have a glass of Defiance. Freedom's delicious.
Oh, good one, buddy. Jeez, let's hear it again.
Have a glass of Defiance. Freedom's delicious.
Yeah, buddy. All right. Freedom is delicious. Well, now, Defiance includes 4 misdemeanor charges from the Santa Barbara County District Attorney Joyce Dudley. And it's kind of interesting. One of the other things is, folks I recognize this guy's name, and I was like, how do I recognize his name? And the Indy mentions down here, Hixenbaugh last made news reports in 2017 when, as a member of the San Luis Obispo Police Department, he publicly defended a colleague who claimed sexual assault victims frequently, quote, conjured up reports of rape after consuming too much alcohol. He's talking about Cal Poly students. Guys, I worked for the New Times when I worked for The Sun, the sister paper of the New Times. It's all the New Times media group. And this is the story that they're talking about. I remember when this all went down. Literally, one of the New Times' reporters was on the phone with this officer. Farr was his name, and this is the quote, sometimes one thing leads to another, and they end up in a position that everybody regrets later on, Farr said. He then said reports of sexual assault often go unsubstantiated. Quote, it seems that that's a typical response. Quote, he's speaking as the victims. I got blackout drunk and I can normally drink this much. I must have been sexually assaulted, Farr said. I don't know why everybody automatically jumps to that conclusion, but that's kind of where they go. They feel they've been sexually assaulted because they blacked out. Now that's something they've got to deal with for a long time and heal from, even though they were never sexually assaulted. And he often said they conjure this stuff up, right? And let's see here. So, and here's a woman who was Morro Bay resident Desiree Kimball wasn't so sure about the department's promises. She said that Farr's comments echoed what she was told by a slow police officer more than a decade ago when she was trying to report her own sexual assault to the department. I was completely blown away because that's almost exactly what I was told, Kimball said. He said something like, make sure you get all your facts straight, because what happens is sometimes girls get drunk and feel bad about it, and out of their guilt, they think they got raped, Kimball said. Now, what Hixenbaugh said, so let's see. While Farr's comments raised concerns for Kimball and other local residents, some community members have vouched for his character, including another SLO PD sergeant. Commenting on the SLO PD's Facebook statement, Patrol Sergeant Kurt Hixenbaugh, that's, Mr. Defiance, said Farr was, quote, an outstanding, ethical, and professional police officer. Quote, the media, however, has a proven track record of taking police statements out of context and are using partial statements for their own twisted agendas, Hixenbaugh wrote. let this play out and see where it goes. I support Sergeant Farr 100%. So blame the media. Fake news. Fake news. Yeah, there you have it. And this was just announced this last week, these charges, and Kurt, he's going to post through it, guys. He's going to post through it. And here he is, talking now about, look, he's wearing a Black Rifle Coffee Company. Wasn't there some kind of controversy with Black Rifle Coffee Company and Kyle Rittenhouse or something? But let's see. Let's just hear what he has to say here.
Hey everybody, it's Kurt from Vino Et Amicis Wine Bar. Just a quick update. Not sure if you've heard or not, but the district attorney's office has decided to file 4 criminal charges against us. 2 counts of failing to obey the stay-at-home order, and 2 counts of failing to file a public health report. Not even sure what that is, so we'll figure that part out. And I'm pretty sure we're not the only ones who didn't stay home during the stay-at-home order. So we're gonna fight it. We've retained an attorney. We've retained the Cunningham Law Group to defend us, and we'll go forward with it. It's going to be a little spendy. We did have a friend of ours here in town. She put together a GoFundMe page.
Hey.
That would be super helpful if you want to get behind us and help fight Sacramento and help fight this county. It's Vino Et Amicis Legal Defense Fund is where you can find it on GoFundMe. So we love your support. It's been awesome, and we're going to hang in there and take care.
Really quick.
The stay-at-home order. So we're going to fight it.
Yep.
We've retained an attorney. We've retained the Cunningham Law Group.
Cunningham Law Group. Cunningham Law Group. Guys, you ever heard of the Cunningham Law Group? Huh. Who's that? Whoever could be in the Cunningham Law Group. Oh, look, guys. That is none other than local Republican state assembly member Jordan Cunningham, former SLO County prosecutor and now state assembly member. I believe it's the 35th district. So a Republican assembly member is going to defend the former and a former SLO prosecutor is going to defend retired SLO police officer Kurt Hixenbaugh, who openly flaunted health orders because nah, bro, nah. It's there's a boot on our throat from Sacramento, I believe is what he said. Let's see. Yeah, about Cunningham, Darkwood 88 says, surprise, surprise. Let's see. Jay Coleman says, Black Rifle Coffee is peak Chud. Thanks for another Chud symbol. Kyle Rittenhouse is the Black Rifle Coffee shirt. Oh, wow. Yeah, so that's what I remembered. Let's see. Yeah, so it's that's our local news. Quite fascinating, quite entertaining.